So,
All right, go ahead, sir.
yes, Brother Mike. So we give thanks for the privilege of knowing that right now, right now, the way it looks, um, we're on track. And this business of being on track is so important because the way the creator set it up, the creator set it up and became the track for all of what him set up, you know? It's like all of creation is running on the track of the creator. This track we would call energy. And everybody who is alive, every living creature who is alive, every living organism who is alive, all of the planets, all of the galaxies which are alive are running on the basic track or energy which we call God. Different people give it different names, but it's the same track. And we are here, planet Earth is here for us to learn how to recognize this wonderful track that is carrying all of us. This wonderful track which is supporting all of us. This wonderful track which gives us the support and the freedom to express ourselves. And when you realize that this is so, then you say, whoa, if I'm on track, if I have all the support to explore and express what energy or God is about or life is about, then I need to learn how to stay on track. That's the first thing. Learning how to stay on track. And when you learn how to stay on track, you realize it's a practice. You have to develop the practice of staying on track. And the way we are sharing it, the way we are getting it in the programs that we're doing, the Reverence for Life University, which we are, says the way to stay on track is very simple. Breathe consciously, because every conscious breath you take takes you straight back to your source or the energy base which is supporting you. We say eat consciously because the track is supplying all of us with all of what we need to eat to stay on track. You see, eating and planet Earth is our all we can eat buffet keeps us on track. Drinking keeps us on track.
Drinking consciously.
Yes. Talking with one another like what we're doing now keeps us on track. So I'm going to hand you over to Sister D now, and we continue with how important it is to develop the practice of staying on track. Because depending on how our minds have been programmed, there are many of us who have been programmed to stay off track. We've been told that the track is not there for us. We've been told that the track is not good enough, and we give it all kinds of names. But we are here to learn now. And as you do in the mind program, we're here to learn now, to look in our minds, to see what is it that in our mind that keeps us from staying on track. And as you rightly say, you weed out those things, whether it's self-doubt, confusion, experiences of disappointment, all of those things that build up, like they obstruct the flow of source. through our minds for us to conduct our affairs on track. So let's talk with Sister D now and let her share with you her version of staying on track. Hold on.
Yes, Miss G, we'd love to hear from you.
All of life is a track, you know. There is no
Yeah.
such thing as dying, you know. You're just on a different dimension. And I say that to say, and I've had this experience about 20 times, and I might have shared it with you already. The first one was my loving cousin who had passed to a different track, what we call died. And I went on that track and I said, you have made the transition. Get up. Just walk into the light. There was this beautiful light. I said, just walk into the light. And I did that with about 20 people over a period of several months. People that had passed. My girlfriend, Margaret, who was my sister, and just a lot of people. And I'm saying, what the heck? And I was able to say to them, you are okay. Everything is fine. Just walk into the light. And it comes to me to mention it because the long and short of the story, what are who we call God or spirit or that cannot die. There's no such thing. There are different dimensions. Yes, I agree. And we might not understand the various dimensions, but life is just going from one dimension to the next, according to what you need to know, according to what you need to learn, according to where you are on, as Desmond said, where you are on track. You know, it's just moving from really what you need to know, what you need to remember about yourself, who you are, that you are energy. Energy cannot be dead, cannot die, cannot, you know, but yes, we are on different, like for instance, you're driving a car and you have to turn left and you turn right. You have to, you know, reverse and make the adjustment. But it's not that anything can be wrong, but sometimes we take the wrong turns that wasn't meant for us, and we need to go and make the adjustment. But life is for living, and living is eternal, and God cannot die. There was never a God that can die. No way. No way. And I've had so many instances where this came to me. And I must have mentioned a lot of them to you already. One that was very interesting is that we had you know, I used to paint, right?
Right.
And it was Christmas and I had sold one damn thing. And I went to the place where my paintings were, and I was a little pissed off and I started taking them down and so forth and so on. All of a sudden, a whole family, about 5, 6 of them from Britain came and they started, oh, I love this one. Oh, I want this one. Oh, I said, what the heck? Some of them were down on the ground, you know, on the ground. And the long and short of the story, I sold every single piece to this one family from Britain. Every single piece. You know, and I've had so many instances like that. We are here to learn the energy that we are, and that energy is just to, I don't know how to put it. Energy is a breath in you. Energy is a life in you, which is permanent, which cannot die. Yes, various dimensions, I agree. But depends on what you need to learn. It depends on what you need to remember and what you need to know. Okay? So that is my aspect. I mean, can you believe I've taken down the paintings and I'm pissed off, because nothing sold. And I have them, half of them on the ground. And it was about how many, 25? About 25 little paintings, smaller paintings, for Christmas gifts. And this one family picked up every single one and bought them. Every single one. And
God was on your side that morning.
Well, God is who I am. That's what we need to learn and remember. Jesus didn't die on the cross, Jesus changed into another lane, into another course, into another channel. But there is no such thing. God cannot die, never did, was able to, cannot, and nor can we. We are here to learn who we are. And I forget which part of the Bible says, I say ye are gods, and all of you sons of the Most High. And it doesn't mean that it's just men. It means that, they used to call everybody a son of God instead of a son or a daughter and so forth. But we are here to learn how fantastic we are. I have had so many miracles in my life. Desmond would have to tell you on another day. I mean, amazing. So we just have to remember that, go back to what I think Des was saying it about the tree, the tree outside. You can cut down the tree will spring again,
Right.
And you can get a seed out of it if that is what, and plant it somewhere and it will grow. So we are continuous life. Continuous life. Continuous life, whether you're breathing the breath consciously or not consciously, you are continuous life. We are continuous life. Not possible to do anything else.
So let me ask you a question now. Way back when we used to have these discussions, I remember, well, it came into my head this morning that there is no devil, there is no evil, there is just no duality, just one.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that again. Remind me, because I was confused. That's why I call you this evening. Prof think it was him I was calling. I was calling to talk to you because I remember we had a discussion.
Yes.
And you said, it's only God. There is no Satan. There is no evil.
But you can take a wrong turn.
Yeah, all right. Yes.
Right now, I'm on a wrong turn. You know that I have a cancer thing, right?
No, don't claim it.
No, thank you. I am rid of it.
Yes.
I am rid of it. As a matter of fact, I've taken what you call them, Desmond, chemotherapy, several different things of chemotherapy, and my hair dropped out, and I have hair now. It grew back, and I'm in an apartment complex where they love us. And when I had a bald head, they would come and pray over me and rub my head and pray over me and rub my head until I got here.
Amen.
But I am, in my mind now, I am meant to understand that in this situation, that life is a continuous process. It does not begin and it does not end. It may look as if it begins because we can't, I don't know how to put it. You don't know, in a way, you don't understand where you come from.
Right.
But I think now we just have to, it's not about understanding where you come from. Just accept that you are one with all that is, which is spirit. I am one with all that is. And this can tell you some of the magnificent things that have happened in my life that I cannot understand. I remember one little one I'm going to pass on to you. I think I had divorced my husband at this stage, my then husband, Pat Bass. And I didn't have any money. Well, not that he was giving me any, he was using out everything that I had. And I did not have money to feed the children. And the next thing I know, I hear the postman, ding, 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 at the gate. When I go, my aunt sent me a big fat check, which I just went down to the grocery store, changed it, and I had money for several months. I didn't ask her for anything, you know. She didn't know I was having problems. She didn't know. And another time, my mother was ill and she was going into the hospital to remove whatever it was that was giving her a problem. And I had a big conversation with God. Really, a rough conversation with Spirit. And within an hour, my father drove her back in. I said, Mommy, why are you back here? They couldn't find anything. So all of life, as far as I'm understanding now, all of life is just to teach you or to remind you of who you are, which is one with Spirit. One with Spirit. You can't be, I mean, you can't be here and you say you are not one with Spirit. Whether you have one leg or one hand or something is wrong with you physically, we are all in a way here to remember who we are, just to remember who we are. And we cannot be separated from the one. It's not the two, it's the one. And so I have to just hold on to that. So hang on, let me put you on back to Desmond.
All right. No, this is good conversation, man.
Yeah, I think back to that question about devils and demons and all those conditions. And people have had experiences, you know. If you come from Jamaica and back in the rural areas, you will hear stories about duppies. Duppies are real. I have had experiences with duppies. So there's nobody who can convince me that there is not a duppy. And I'm sure there are many, many, many people here will tell you about their experiences with duppies. But here is what we're talking about. Every form of energy is a form of energy. Whether you call it duppy or angel or devil or spirit, you're dealing with the energy. It's just a matter of what went into that body of energy, your thinking.
What did you put in that energy, and why did you put it? And really the why is because you need to learn something out of it.
Yeah.
You need to learn something out of it.
That's it. So the devil that you see and you experience is your own creation. You have projected your energy into that form because you have that amount of power. The power of God, which is yours. You can use it to create, and you are using it to create the experiences that you're having. So when you see a situation that is asking you to understand it and to send love to it, send love to it because it just needs love. Because you know you can go back to the basic. God is love. The energy that exists as the track that we're talking about is love. It's support for itself. So whatever you have the power to project, you are getting the support of the source or the energy to keep it going.
We are writing our own play, you know. All of this is a play, and it is our play. We write the play. And we need to just say, okay, so why am I having an experience like this? What do I need to learn? How can I be the best? Well, really, as far it's coming to me now, you have to just be the best that you can be. Be the best. Be the best that you can be. If you make a wrong turn, change, go back, and be the best. Just be the best all the time.
That is it. And you know, Brother Mike, as we say in our group, we are a support group. What we are, the support we're giving to one another, which we are receiving from Spirit, is where you have been creating things that you haven't been taking responsibility for. They come back as Duppy, and they come back as Spirit, and they come back looking to you for reconciliation. Because if you put out something out there, it's not going to turn up at my door. It's going to come back to you, and it's you who have to resolve it. You have to give it the love it needs. And
that's a good word.
And as we say, when you understand that, yes, everything you're looking out there at is yours because you generated it. And when you take ownership of it and give it the love it needs from you, you realize that it's an angel in disguise. Your angel in disguise to teach you how much power you have.
The long and the short of the story, you know, when we went to school and we did algebra and we did geometry and you did my name was some of the
Arithmetic or
no the languages.
English or French.
Latin. Latin is a source of the language, English. But it's not an easy thing. But you had to go through that. You have to go through all of those things. And so what I'm getting now, and I thank you for being here with us, because as we go along, I'm just understanding that we are all here to share with each other, to help each other, to be the best that we can be. And if you make a wrong turn, change it and make the right turn. But we are all here learning to be the one. The one. It's not the two, it's the one. Irrespective of how it may turn out or look, it's the one being itself with the energies that you give it or the energies you don't give it. It's still the one in expression. There's not two, there's just one.
So that kind of brings us to a little close where we realize, based on what we've been saying here this evening or today, that we're dealing with a one. Jesus,
Yes.
the Father, whoever, but there is one God.
One energy.
One energy.
And you can call it God if you want.
Exactly.
Call it Jesus if you want. Call it Michael Chambers if you want. Don Green if you want. Call it Donald Trump if you want. Call it Joe Biden if you want. Call it America if you want. Call it Jamaica if you want. Call it Europe if you want. Call it Asia if you want. Call it South America if you want. Whatever you want to call it, it's the same energy that is manifesting. And it is supporting you, to teach you to recognize it as yourself. so that you can have fun with it.
We're in the senior class, you know. We're in the senior class. And so it's not necessarily easy. But we are in the senior class. We are meant to just learn and understand who we are and who is breathing through you and who is being through you, and just appreciate yourself. And I'm trying to tell my daughter Rochelle, who lives nearby, that if she is having a hard time at work, for instance, bless them, just bless them and bless them and bless them and bless them. And everything will change for her benefit, you know?
My friend. Yes, Brother Mike. So you want to rejoice in the fact now that really what we're acknowledging is that there's only one energy operating at a number of frequencies, all reconciling itself with itself in celebration of itself. And one of these days, everybody will come into an understanding that, yes, the person I'm pointing my finger at is just my brother who needs a helping hand. When I learned that, I would have learned the lesson of this lifetime.
You know, just one little thing I'm going to tell you. I used to go, since I lived in Cincinnati here, I used to go in the backyard and I had like almond and various nuts. And I started feeding the wild squirrels. And they got so accustomed to me, they would jump into my lap. And management asked me, please don't feed them. So I stopped feeding them, but I saw where they were looking for me and you know. But can you imagine that a wild animal just jumping into your lap?
Mm.
Amazing, man. All of life is connected. All of life is one.
One.
All right, so this was another good session. So we will continue this on another time, and another place, but the same Zoom station.
Yes.
So
Indeed.
thank you both, Professor Green and Mrs. Green, for coming on today's Reverence for Life corner.
Thank you, Brother Mike, as you continue to hold the light for all of us. Thanks again.